supplies to cow pies, crawling over every drop we ever used.
We didn't have a lot of time.
A lot of time. Wrong, we don't have a little time. Look, I don't mean to be Mr. Naysay, but you really think you got a chance in hell at getting to that thing before they find it?
I don't know, but that won't stop her from trying.
Come on, Ghost. It's crazy.
Sparks, how long have you been operating on this ship?
3 years.
Then you ought to know by now. When she makes up her mind, you have one choice. You go with her, or you get the hell out of her way.
Scout at the post office.
Is the drop still clean?
Niobe, this won't be easy.
Thaddeus was my friend. I knew him. He never used a drop before. He didn't trust him. Whatever's in that box cost Thaddeus his life and the lives of his crew. And I have a feeling if we don't get to it first, it's gonna cost us a whole lot more. So are you red or blue on this?
You know me, Niobe. It's not a choice. It's a way of life.
Because I know how valued my opinion is on this ship, I won't bother to tell you. But I think it's insane for you not to wait for a support team. And for the record, when I cart your bodies back to Zion, do you prefer cremation or the gardens?
Sparks, your faith in us remains a source of personal inspiration.
Well, I am what I am, and I do what I can.
Then can you shut up and hit the button?
Your wish, Captain. My captain is my keystroke : / execute command.
Greetings, I'm Solidus Skully, and welcome to the Enter the Matrix commentary. My god, there's gonna be a lot of cutscenes coming up, but yeah, it's been a while since we've done a Matrix video game, and I figured that now we might as well get back to doing that, because, well, despite the many problems that this game has, well, there's a lot to talk about, so enjoy the cutscene and I'll see you in a bit.
Why do you do that?
Do what?
Check your guns.
You never know.
It's a program. They get loaded every time the exact same way.
Hume teaches us that no matter how many times you drop a stone and it falls to the floor, you never know what'll happen the next time you drop it. It might fall to the floor, but then again it might float to the ceiling. Past experience can never prove the future.
So
You never know.
here we go. We're in.
You got 10 minutes until the post office closes. There's a ton of heat in the area, but the package is still untouched. The box number is 731222.
Got it.
And hey, can you ask Ghost if he doesn't make it? Can I have his boots?
Your call, inside or out.
I'll get the package.
Keep in touch.
Yep, closing time. We're going to the post office. I'm feeling nostalgic right now. Yeah, as you can probably tell, Enter the Matrix is a very chatty game. They are making use of their cast, which, well, I mean, they did have most of the actors from the movies reprising their roles because this video game was being developed around the exact same time, which, as you will probably be able to see, whether right now or perhaps a little bit later into this very part, yeah, that kind of affected the game's development cycle in not exactly the most positive of ways, but, well, then again, that's a very spicy meatball. I mean, I will say, despite the fact that I wouldn't consider this game good, there was a lot of potential here, and, yeah, it doesn't really matter whether or not you attack these people, you don't get a game over, and unlike the Matrix Path of Neo, they make far better use out of the security guards than, well, that game ever did, because I think they were only ever used in one tutorial level. But I stay my tongue.
Sparks, the elevator shut down.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I've got a blueprint online. It's too bad that elevator would have worked. Okay, hold on, I'm looking for another way. I found a heavy mail elevator in the back corner of the main sorting area. It might still be operating.
Thanks.
So yeah, to describe what we're doing, if you weren't paying attention to the live-action cutscene, which I suppose I might as well get into now. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about this, because unlike The Matrix Path of Neo, these cutscenes were originally filmed for the game itself, and as a result, I don't really have a way to edit around them, so a bit risky. Might have to do a bit of, like, editing, like using a shitty border, which I don't want to do, but you know what, well, I'll play it by ear and see how it goes, but other than that, who knows, really. Anyway, I guess, well, really to get into storyline, this is, in terms of timeline, it's set after the first Matrix movie, but a little bit before Reloaded. This is also tying in with Final Flight of the Osiris, which is, you know, why Niobe was mentioning Captain Thaddeus, which was why Niobe was mentioning Captain Thaddeus earlier on, because again, if you remember well, if you haven't seen the events of that movie, basically, they figured out that the machines were drilling holes into, you know, the Earth because they were trying to reach Zion, and as a result of that, well, Thaddeus basically died. His crew used a dead drop to get the package into the post office so they could send the information back to Zion, and that's why Niobe, Ghost, and Sparks are here to get the information and basically make sure that Zion knows what the hell's going on. I mean, I haven't seen the Animatrix in years at this point, but I mean, I seem to remember enjoying Final Flight of the Osiris for the CG they used at the time. Then again, 2003 we're talking about here, so it's probably aged since last I saw it. But I mean, in terms of visuals that have aged, the graphics here are very... well, I mean, they look okay as of here, and I'm guessing that this, considering that it's so early on in the game, this is probably the most finished part of the game that they probably have done, but there are some graphical textures later on that really will make you go, like, holy fuck, how did they release this? Well, I mean, I say that, but then again, we also live in a day and age where we can basically release unfinished games and people will pay for them because they're fucking stupid. So, maybe the end of the Matrix would fit into the modern video game world. I don't know. I'm being kind of facetious at this point, but... yeah, in terms of how the levels are structured here, unlike the Matrix Path of Neo, where you'd be reenacting a segment of the movie, it's kind of divided into, like... okay, how do I put this? You do have a general main... episode, so to speak, you know, in this case it's the post office, and in that episode you'll have many little different chapters within, so you know, you'll have closing time, then you'll have the big distraction, you know, sneaking your way into the facility. It's all divided up into little level segments that make these areas not too long for you to play, so you won't exactly be feeling frustrated within a specific segment or feeling like a level is taking too long. And, again, as a result, you can also select these missions from the level select that you get once you get back to the main menu. So, Into the Matrix is a relatively short game if you know what you're doing, and plus, with the, you know, with the little spidey compass that you have right at the top of the screen, you always know where you're going, so you don't really have any worry of getting lost. And again, like, in terms of its design ethos, I do think that Shiny Entertainment made this game relatively competent. It's just the fact that I don't think they really had the time to really refine anything in this game to really be as good as it could be. And again, we'll see examples of that later on, but for the time being, well, I mean, the basics are there, and, you know, this was part of the reason why I think they were wanting to do this game. Well, both that and also, I guess, the Wachowskis wanting a tie-in game to, you know, Reload and Revolutions. But, I mean, you know, this would be the basis that would eventually give us the Matrix Path of Neo, so all's good in the hood. Now, in terms of anything else, in terms of differences between the Matrix Path of Neo and, well, Enter the Matrix, again, because Niobe or Ghost aren't exactly the one, they can't fly, do any of the, you know, wacky, well, some of the wackier moves like the windmill attack or the hyperstrike combo that Neo could do, but again, they do have some basic, if decently fun, kung fu moves. Again, they can, you know, use focus, shoot guns, run on walls, and have some pretty cool grapple moves that I kind of wish Neo had in the Matrix Path of Neo, but I don't know. It's a combat system that does need a lot of refining, but I don't know, for what's there, you know, you have kicks, you have punches, you know, takedown moves where you can, you know, shove them down to the ground, punch them in the stomach, take their weapons. Just majorly unrefined, but beyond that, you know, it's okay for what it is. I just... I don't know. I'll get into my thoughts a bit later.
I think they're expecting you. Cops are everywhere on that second floor. I'm calling your partner for backup.
That was... what? Okay, well, that was kind of a... Again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, Enter the Matrix I wouldn't call an unfinished game, but one that was very heavily rushed. Well, I suppose you could say partially unfinished, considering some of the aspects that we'll probably be pointing out later on, but... I mean, this was a very ambitious game. As you can see right here, we have a license track to... Fuck, I can't remember the track name. I think it was... the artist was called Fluke. But yeah, unlike The Matrix Path of Neo, Enter the Matrix does go out of its way to give you a very authentic feel of the soundtrack of the Matrix movies, including some of the license tracks. I mean, you'll be hearing a couple more later down the line from, you know, electronica artists. And also a couple of metal bands as well. Clawfinger, Evanescence, who else? I can't really name him at the moment. I think also Chris Verena was also a part of the soundtrack. You know, guy who worked on Doom 3 for the main theme song. So yeah, you do get a nice mix of, you know, Don Davis' score, the genuine Don Davis score, not some of the remix tracks that you saw in The Matrix Path of Neo. And you also get some licensed stuff, so it's all pretty good. Nice industrial metal, techno. It's pretty great stuff. In terms of how the guns work, you do have a much wider variety of guns to use in this game than you did in The Matrix Path of Neo, which stuck to very general sort of, you know, submachine gun, machine gun, pistol, grenade launcher, all that sort of stuff. Huh. And also the very rare usage where the silent takedown is applicable in combat. I will say that you have more opportunities to use it in Enter the Matrix than you did in The Matrix Path of Neo, but... anyway, the point is, and what I was trying to say earlier, is that you get a nice variety of guns to play with. I'll say that much.
Shit, tear gas.
Hard to breathe.
It's really toxic. You gotta stay up high, away from that stuff. The cops are sealing the doors outside. Ghost is getting slowed down, so you're on your own for now.
Yay, the music's back, and yeah, that tear gas is not exactly something you want to spend your time in. As you can see here, your health will slowly drain. Similar to the Matrix Path of Neo, though, your health meter will slowly regenerate, and, yeah. And, same thing really goes for your focus. You don't have any, like, focus or... well, you do get health pickups, but you don't get any focus pickups, so you gotta wait for that to slowly recharge. I don't think it also refills if you beat up enemies like you could in the Path of Neo, but... again, early days, very rough concept, but... I don't know. I mean... as you're seeing here, there is a lot about the Enter the Matrix that I think is a relatively decent game. It's just hampered by a lot of things. I mean, it's... well, again, warped shadow texture notwithstanding... well, texture? That's probably the wrong thing. I mean, warped shadow notwithstanding, there is a lot about this game that I do genuinely enjoy. I don't know. I guess, what else can I really say about Enter the Matrix that I haven't already? Well, I suppose I could probably also go back to the review I made, which was... God, that was years ago, and I feel my bones crackling up even as we speak. Also, we also have, like, Powerade product placement here. Weird. I also believe there's, like, an Easter egg where you can actually use that to get a full health restore, I think.
Sparks. Peel box locked up tight. I don't see any way in.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And you didn't say anything.
There's a red conveyor belt above the main sorting area. It's down the hall to the left.
Okay.
Find a spot where you can get on it. Ride it until it takes you over the PO box.
And no one's supposed to see me when I'm up there.
Just act invisible.
The package was moved, you say? Very interesting. Yeah. Again, unlike Neo, Niobe or Ghost can't jump very high. In fact, if you do a jump without focus, I think I might have pointed this out in the... excuse me. I think I might have pointed this out in the review, actually, but, you know, if you just press the X button, all you do is, like, a piddly little, like, leap into the air, which is, you know, kind of sucks. I don't know. Again, you don't have Neo's, like, superhuman abilities, but I mean, you can jump reasonably far if you use focus, and, you know, while some of the moves you can't pull off aren't exactly as acrobatic, you still have enough to play with, so it's not all bad. And again, I think another thing to also mention is that because of the fact that they have a movie cast on hand here, I think a lot of the acting quality is a lot better than, well, most other things you'd generally be seeing. Like, I mean, again, this is the genuine Jada Pinkett Smith as Niobe, Anthony Wong as Ghost, and Lockie Hume as Sparks. And again, you do also get appearances from Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, and, you know, a lot of the other movie cast that were there in Reloaded. So, I mean, it's...
Got it.
Sir, she's got the package. Move in. Deadly force.
Holy shit, Ghost is a badass. But, yeah. Like, I mean, because of the fact that you do have the movie cast on hand, well, at least to a greater sense of authenticity rather than having... Was it Nika Futterman who voiced Niobe in the Matrix Path of Neo? Yeah. Again, it just feels a lot more genuine, is what I'm gonna say. And I mean, to their credit, like, I think they do a pretty decent job in this game for the material that they're given. But alas, I'm kind of getting off topic at this point because now we have the package, the police obviously prepared for this, so I'm sure that we'll be able to run out the front door without anything stopping us whatsoever. Yep, dramatic music giving us away no... What? Oh, sweet crispy Jesus, it's an ambush, we gotta get out! Well, I mean, I say that, but basically you just gotta survive this onslaught of police with machine guns. I don't think police are, you know, generally allowed to have those. Well, yeah, we live in the Matrix universe, so guns are probably more available than anything, because in this world, we have guns. Lots of guns. And I just realized there might be a lot of audio bleeding here, so, I do apologize if some stuff bleeds into the mic, because I am using the newer mic that you heard during the Metal Gear Solid review, because, well, better quality, I guess. Whatever. Now, this isn't exactly a long, battle. I mean, it's just basically waiting until Sparks gives you the go-ahead to find an exit, or basically just wait until a door opens where we can go to the second floor, and, basically find an escape that way. Like, I mean, one thing I will say is that, I mean, while some, level transitions feel a little bit Spartan, like... You know, okay, this one level, okay, jump down a roof and escape down to this segment of the level. Okay, now go here. Then go there. Then have a cutscene. Okay, then do this. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like half organic in terms of its connection to the other levels of the game, and it also feels a little bit like, level start. Okay, do this level, now begin in this area. Again, that might have been a product of the Rush development cycle, though.
What the hell happened here?
Ghost created a distraction for you.
A distraction? Is there a part of the building he didn't set on fire?
That is just what I'm checking on.
The front
now.
entrance is a no-go. Have I got an exit?
Hold on, I'm looking at your options. Okay. You're not gonna like it.
Hit me.
Find the manager's office. It's near where you jumped onto the conveyor belt.
On the second floor?
That's the you're not gonna like it part.
Just call me when you get there.
This is one of the few times where I think it probably would have been better to have Ghost in this level than Niobe, because, well, I mean, considering Niobe's very tough as nail demeanor, I kind of see her being the one to, well, be a little bit more gung-ho and blowing shit up, compared to Ghost, who's a little bit more stoic and, well, reserved. I don't know. Either way, I suppose I should probably get into that. Enter the Matrix, unlike the Matrix Path of Neo, has, well, a selection of two characters. You can pick either Niobe or Ghost. There aren't really that many differences between them, except in terms of two things, really. One of which is another gameplay segment that we'll be getting to next part, and the other of which is a slightly different divergence in the storyline. So, when it comes down to it, I'm going to be showing off some of the more interesting Ghost segments when they're applicable. But I mean, for the most part, this is going to be Niobe's game because, well, Niobe is one of my favorite characters in the series. But I mean, generally speaking, I'll be showing off Ghost, I guess, to give a nice, healthy balance between, you know, the sort of action that we're seeing here. Not much really changes besides a few lines of dialogue and how the characters interact with each other, but, I don't know, it is cool to see Niobe handle certain segments in Ghost, so I look forward to that, I guess. I don't know. There is also, like, a hacking minigame where you can, like, enter, like, little codes to play as different characters in multiplayer, which you do get after beating the game, I believe. If not that, then at least by playing through the hacking minigame where you know, get to do a bunch of cool stuff, like find out little bios about the different characters in the Matrix, like, you know, people from Zion, Neo, Morpheus, you know, the police, agents, and some of the other programs that you see within the Matrix. But I mean, you also have access to a bunch of other hidden shit, like, you know, cheat codes, this little minigame with sparks, and, I don't know. It's a very nifty feature, and, well, again, we don't really have a lot of time to talk about it now since there's a cutscene coming up, but I suppose I'll save all my Matrix-y tangents for next time. So on that note, I am Solidus Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on the Enter the Matrix commentary, well, presuming we can get to it, we're gonna be getting into some pretty, well, some pretty hardcore stuff. So, I'll see you dudes and dudettes next time. Catch you later. And I timed this a little bit too early because I'm a fucking moron. Catch you later.
Okay, listen, I've got it. Just working on the timing. You gotta put your back to the city map. It's across the room from the big window. Good. Hang on. I'll be with you in just a sec. Here we go. Now, when I say go, I want you to run for that big window in front of you and jump through it. Trust me, this is gonna be fine, I think. Ready? Go!
Wing, get over here quick!
Let's get going. I think those sirens are for us.